So coming up, we have James Kerr and Sean Opson with DealPeel. Here we go. So you're in your favorite short order restaurant. You're ready to check out, you get to the cash register, and then you get that dreaded question. The cashier asks you, "Are you a member of our loyalty program? Would you like to join?" And you start sweating. You're thinking, "Oh no, this is another card. It's going to fill up my wallet, make it a little bit thicker." And then you think, "I don't even come here enough. I come here a few times a year, maybe once a month if I really like the place. I'm going to get a free drink in a year once I get 10 hole punches." So without hesitation, you say, "No thank you," and you just check out. That's if you're like me anyways. Well, introducing DealPeel, an app that takes up no room in your wallet and allows you to earn rewards at one business and redeem them at another, a universal rewards program. My name is James Kerr. I'm a mechanical engineering student at UCF, and I'm the CEO of DealPeel. Joining me today is Sean Upson. He is a civil engineer student at UCF and the Chief Operating Officer. So we started talking to small businesses, and what I mean by that would be regional chains with less than 10 locations and mom and pop style stores and restaurants in the area. And we learned some interesting things from them. They're very unhappy with the advertising platforms or the advertising options that are available to them. For example, social media. Do a lot of advertising through that, but what they're really paying for is clicks and views. A customer may not come into their business just because they run an ad. Coupons are paying for print distribution. It's great if somebody comes in and uses the coupon, but you might distribute a lot of coupons and waste your money as a smaller business. So what they really wanted was something where they're paying when the customers are actually making a purchase at their business or doing, ultimately come into their business.
Just to kind of reiterate what James says, consumers, they don't see loyalty cards, it's just not worth it. For most regional stores and mom and pop shops, there isn't a Starbucks on every corner of the street, and really what ends up happening with loyalty cards is that, you get free punches and then you just put it in the wallet, or, maybe at Walgreens, you earn so many points and never get anything free out of it, and really, they really just don't use it. And that's why, where DealPeel comes in is you can actually use it at these mom and pop stores and it becomes more valuable, where as a regular loyalty program, people just don't end up using.
So we took in those two problems, it's really two markets, and we came up with the solution. So, as we've mentioned, DealPeel is a universal rewards app. So what does that mean? So what that means is you can go to several businesses. We're partnered with 20 right now around UCF, and we're growing. And you can earn points at one of those businesses, and once you've accumulated enough, you can redeem them for, for reduced price goods and services at either that business or any other business in the DealPeel network. It's a shared rewards network. So how does that work? What's the value chain for this? So it all starts with the business running a deal on our app. So a deal might be earn 100 points if you buy a plate of pasta, redeem 500 points if you are for a free smoothie. So that could be some sample deals. You then go to the business. You've seen these deals, they're there. You display your barcode at the checkout. They scan your card. Again, it doesn't take up room in your wallet. It's all digitalized. And after you've accumulated enough points, so let's say you use that deal, earn 100 points for buying pasta, earn 50 points for going to the bar, earn this, that, and the other. You've got enough points. You got 500. You now redeem them for a free smoothie. That is how the app functions. And so what does this do? Where's the value? How does this address those problems that we first identified? The first is that pay when it works cost structure. So how we charge businesses, those are our clients. That's where we make money. For users, it's 100% completely free. And what happens is the businesses every 2 weeks pay the net of points that they give out minus what they collect. So what I mean by that is, earn 100 points, they're giving points to the consumers, and we charge them a penny for every point they give out in that fashion. If they collect points, so redeem 500 points, they're collecting those back, putting into their point bank. Every 2 weeks, we just take the net of those points. If they gave out more than they collected, we charge them a penny times that amount. If they collect more than they gave out, then they have a surplus and they can use that to give out in the future. So what's happening here is they're only paying us when the customer has come in and done whatever that deal said. Buy the pasta plate, earn the points, and whatnot. So they're not paying to run those deals is 100% completely free. There's no, upfront costs, because at the end of the day, we're aligned with their interest. Customers are coming in spending money, and if that's not happening, it's not fair for us to make money either. The second thing is that shared rewards network. So, like Sean said, let's take Starbucks. Loyalty programs are very effective at large chains where you do have something on every corner, like a Best Buy or a Starbucks or things like that, where you might frequent once a week. But when you talk about these mom and pop or these small regional chains, there's just not enough locations for the most part to go there weekly and really earn enough points with a traditional loyalty program or standalone loyalty program to make it valuable to you. So by being able to earn points at Spoleto, one of our partners, and take them over to Jamba Juice, another one of our partners, is a very valuable thing for a lot of our consumers, specifically the ones that like deals and like to engage in loyalty programs. And finally, arguably one of the biggest ones, is what separates us from our competition. And what I mean by that is there's been shared rewards programs in the past, there's some right now that are in existence, but there's one big thing that separates us from all of those, and that's that we have no barriers to entry. And what I mean by that is, one of our competitors, for example, Plenty, they're out right now, they're at a few big retailers, they have a coalition set up. Okay, so one of their partners is Macy's, it's a big brand, right? But let's say Dillard's wants to join Plenty and start giving out points and participate. Macy's gets to say yes or no to that. It's a coalition. Everybody gets a fair vote. With ours, we took that out. Anybody can download the app for their business and start running deals. And what we found is, maybe those large businesses like a Macy's, they don't want, they're not going to participate in a shared rewards program if the competition's in it. The mom and pop and regional chains don't care about that. In fact, they don't even ask us. When we thought that would be the biggest thing is, I don't want a competitor on here, sharing my points with me. And they don't even ask that when we're with them. They have bigger concerns, but that's not one of them. So for our market, we were able to take those barriers away. We can grow faster. We're not stuck at that small business, the small number of businesses. So, advertising is a very, and loyalty, very highly competitive market. There's a lot of options out there. Consumers are bombarded all the time. I'd just like to highlight one anecdote that happened to us recently. So one of our competitors, called Pocket Points, was at Spoleto, another one of our partners, and they were using Pocket Points. We were able to get in there, share, present our program to them. They tried it out, they liked it so much they got rid of our competition, and now they're just using us. So the consumers were happy with it, and the business was happy with it. So not only can we penetrate businesses that don't have a rewards program, but we can also get in there and be side by side and eventually take over. We're at some businesses that do have loyalty programs too right now, and they're really liking DealPeel, and they're thinking of getting rid of their traditional loyalty program in favor of it.
Okay, just to talk about marketing, to business in the beginning, we really treated them separately. So for marketing, we went out to over 100 businesses in Orlando, and our conversion rate was about 20%. So we have around 20 or 23 businesses in the UCF Orlando area. We're moving over to Winter Park as we speak, and really the way we market to businesses is just kind of going in there, kind of face to face. And to consumers, we tried a variety of things, and we noticed that one thing that works very well is when we give out a voucher through our app. And what that does for us is that it gets a download, and it teaches them how to use the app. And really, you have to go into that store and use our app, when we give them that voucher. And most of the time, the businesses give us vouchers as like for a free smoothie or something like that for free. So it's one of the ways it's really low cost for us to get it out. But currently, we've learned that in order to expand, it's going to be cheaper to market through our businesses, because when you use a loyalty card at the POS machine in one of these businesses. We're also making a package where businesses can buy and kind of get the DealPeel experience and kind of get set up.
So, what is our impact? What are we doing here for the community? And really what we're doing is we are leveling that playing field, advertising playing field for these regional chains and these mom and pop businesses. America was built on those businesses, and a lot of larger businesses, because their economies of scale are, they just have more options and more resources available to them to advertise and participate in loyalty and rewards programs. So we're creating a program that really is fair. Yeah, big businesses someday could join in. We absolutely are evaluating that as a potential, but it's an even playing field, the way our cost structure is and the way the deals appear by your geographic location and whatnot. So it's a fair playing field. We're helping out those small businesses. And so, this is the last slide. So really, where are we trying to go with this, and what's the next steps for us? So as Sean was saying, when it comes to marketing, we started this off as two separate entities. We marketed to businesses, our clients, and we went out, we did a lot of one-on-one selling to them. And for the consumers, we did a lot of on-campus marketing events at UCF, and we kind of kept them two separate entities. But like Sean highlighted, we realized consumers that we found out the closer we are to the business, when somebody's actually going to go use it, they're more likely to download it and care about it. You don't care about a rewards program until you're actually there when you're going to use it. So the voucher program, although it's a separate entity, it works pretty well as far as kind of like Uber, you get a free ride, right? And then you use it, and then you continue to use it. Same thing, we give you a free coffee, you go and get your coffee, and now you start earning points with it too. But what we're really trying to do so that we can grow, right now, like he said, we have about a 20% client conversion rate, meaning, every 5 businesses we go in, one of them will sign up for DealPeel. And that is, out of 100, so it's a small sample size, but, it's pretty good for a new app that's out there that isn't untested. But the next thing we need to really figure out, there'll be the make it or break it for us, is how do we integrate a better lead generation, consumer lead generation, into our clients, into the model that we provide them. So whether that's, what I mean by that is getting the businesses to get their users on board. So some of our businesses are doing that actively. We're testing out different options, but that's definitely something that we're interested in learning more about, and definitely would be interested to hear any creative ideas around that. So thank you.
Any questions?
Okay, I'll come over on the side.
No, thanks. Go UCF. So it's apparent from your presentation that you've done like a tremendous amount of market research and validating your market. Before the app was even developed, tell me your process of how you went through that. Did you just wake up and you're going to go here and you're going to go there? Did you go through a program? How'd you get out there?
All right, so, and I'll be able to launch, and I remember you mentioned the launch pad. We're active in the launch pad too. Yeah, and so, they drive that lean startup methodology. Now, to be honest, when we first started this, we were unfamiliar with lean. So along the way, we've picked those skills up, and we are running as lean as we can now. In the beginning, we did get out there. We had a lot of connections to some of the small businesses in the UCF area specifically. And so we began to just talk to those small business owners. And we began to learn some of their frustrations and the problems that they had. The app really started, or the idea behind it was, I started to, if you ever go to the airport and the people bombard you to get the credit cards and you get the bonus points, I started playing that rewards game, get the credit card, get the bonus points, close it, get the next one. And I've been flying for free for 2 or 3 years now. So that's how this whole this points thing is kind of an addictive thing. So that's where the idea sprouted from. We spent about a month in the summer going around and talking to businesses. Then we began to start building the app. Looking back, we should have done probably a little bit more customer discovery, because we have had to pivot and make changes along the way that have been a little bit more costly that we could have avoided. But yeah.
Well, best of luck.
Question here?
Hi, I'm David. Nice presentation. I'm not going to give you a history lesson, but going back before the dot-com bust, there were a couple of companies that were involved in sort of pioneering in this space. One was called Stick Networks, the other was called Danger. And they got killed because they actually had to create devices that we now know as smartphones. But what was really cool about what they were doing was that they were playing around with proximity marketing. The idea that you could be carrying a smartphone with you, and if you're in the proximity of a store that has an interest of yours, that the store would have preloaded, based on the time they wanted to push it. So maybe they're not busy in a restaurant or something like that. They would push this offer, here's 20% off pasta, and you're walking by the store, you're within a couple of miles, and it's lunchtime, and up pops an offer that says, come on in, you can get a free bowl of pasta or a 20% off of a sweater or something like that. Most of what I heard you say today talks about not really a real-time interaction between the merchant and the consumer. You know, you're basically getting a loyalty card-like program going, you're engaging the merchants, and then something is appearing on the screen that your users may or may not interact with. But in the case of what these guys were doing 15, 20 years ago, it was really all about what were the interests that the individual consumer had, how did it relate to the time of day if it was a restaurant service, how did it relate to the busyness of the restaurant, so in real time they would be able to scale up demand for their services. Have you given any thought to that level of kind of complexity and opportunity within the application itself?
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. So as I mentioned before, we're definitely taking a lean approach. So any new feature or method we take, we evaluate, briefly before we implement it. But some ideas that we do have to target that. So for one thing, right now the deals do load geographically, but a business using their app, they control the deals. They can turn them on and off and change them. So for example, one of the bars at the UCF area, if it's like a rainy night, they can run a deal that night that's special. It's real time. Another thing is with the smartphones, you have the push notifications. So we found actually a good percentage of our users do enable that. And we actually thought going into this, before we even built any push notification system, we were just collecting the data from the app. And we thought, oh, we'll just see how many we get. Actually, a lot of people do enable that. I personally don't enable that, but a lot of people do. So that's definitely something if you're driving by a business and we know how many points you have in your account, we can push a notification and say, hey, just stop by and get your free smoothie, or hey, stop by and earn these points. So we do have that kind of real time, that geographic, and that user interaction, something we're looking at. And finally, another thing that we're evaluating, it's a pretty simple solution, is kind of like Yelp. That first screen, it's like restaurants. It kind of has a few categories of what you're looking for, so what you're interested in at the moment. So we're thinking about maybe implementing that kind of cover screen when you log in. So definitely a good idea, though.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Boone, and I have a lot of friends who shop, and they're like hardcore shoppers. Not necessarily hardcore buyers, but they're hardcore shoppers. And my favorite dates are shopping dates. This has an appeal to me. However, I know that most of my female friends who are shoppers want that little piece of plastic in their hand, that card. There is a tactile response to it. It says, this is tangible, this is real. Have you guys integrated your app with a physical card? And if not, why not?
All right, so that's a very interesting question. And so the answer is we do not have a physical card at this moment. However, if we do go that route, it'd be really easy to do, because when you make your account in the app, you get a unique QR code and a unique membership ID. So we could start printing those out and delivering them to people, and basically we're just printing that information on it, and then you have that card to scan. So that's definitely something that we need to, we have one person that said that that'd be interesting. We thought from the consumers we talked to, they didn't like all these physical cards in their wallet, but it's definitely something, and it's interesting to say that we should talk to our market and see if that's something that a majority of them really would like before we invest in that.
The majority of the people that I shop with are age 35 plus, have a minimum of six-figure incomes, and spend money because they can and they want to. They're not on budgets. They are the people who actually really drive the bulk of the small business economy. With the advent of and the accessibility of all of the chipped cards, it wouldn't be a hard thing to integrate it and make that chip with the RFID or whatever usable and part of this. So your businesses could actually hand the person a card and just hand it to them and say, sign up, don't sign up, it's in your bag. That's a great way to grow your base, but it's a tangible something. And something that I, as a marketing and ideations guy, would strongly suggest you do some real research on.
Yeah, I like that idea though, how at the cash register they could have cards ready to go and just scan and give it to you, and it's activated. That's a good idea. Thank you.
Hi, over here. My name is Tu. Probably more of a comment. You posed the right question in the first slide, but I think you need to ask one more question. What you posed, the market problem was essentially, how do you get a customer in the door? But probably more important question to ask is how to get the customer in the doors. Who are my customers? And I think that your app needs to sort of complement that side, and I think kind of complement what David next to me was saying, is that, know your customer. Before, the advantage of Amazon, they have a database of everything. They know where you have lived, we know how much you spend, we know what kind of item you buy, therefore they can push the right items. So the bigger picture of that is brick and mortar stores today cannot do is that what do you do with 7-Eleven guy who come in, buy a lottery ticket, walks out? What do you know about that person? They don't know the pattern, they don't know how they buy, they don't know how much they spend. So that's a greater picture that you probably, what you can compile off of your app, you should be looking into on how to do that is, and essentially is the cost of customer acquisition. You offer free $5 coffee, well, that's costing me $5 to get that customer in the door, but will he spend any more? How much will he spend next time? Will he bring his friends here? That's a question that, moms and pop coffee shop store cannot answer. Starbucks can with a loyalty card and other things that they do. So that's a comment.
Yeah, and that is definitely, we realize this type of business is going to be very data driven. The data we can provide is almost as useful as just the deals that they're running. And so, right now with, we launched recently, with our usage right now, we are collecting a lot of data, but that's definitely, as this grows, we definitely want to provide that. We do provide analytics to our customers right now, and we're going to grow those analytics based on what we collect as we go.
Great presentation. My name is Gary, and are you guys developers yourself? Are you guys hiring folks to develop for you?
Yeah, so I actually developed the app. It was a personal decision. It took a little longer because I had to learn program. I learned programming on my own from before, a different project, but then to do the app, I'd never made an app, so I learned this one. So it took a little longer. Probably could have got somebody to do it, a lot quicker if I went that route, but decided to save money and actually just kind of wanted to learn the app development process myself. So the app development was in-house, and we do most of our marketing stuff in-house too, but we do have some outsourcing for that as well.
So my name is Lauren. I would definitely be a user of this. I'm the kind of person who I'll be checking out at Michael's and I'll be like, wait, do you have any coupons online? And I look it up real quick and give them the 40% off or whatever. Is there gonna be any way for you to decide how your points are utilized? So if you're sitting in a restaurant, you have points saved up and you're about to have that pasta, like I would decide to go to a place based on, if I could redeem something for that, and also kind of a spur of the moment thing. So if if I buy pasta and then it says I have something for a smoothie, I would be more excited if I could use it or if I could choose when I was ready to use it, if that makes sense.
Yes, so that's very important. So one thing we do have, so the businesses run deals just like their deals, they run the redeem deals. And when you click on a redeem deal, you can just click redeem, and then it'll create that voucher for you. So you can do that ahead of time. If you're scared, oh, that deal might disappear if I don't jump on it right now, you can redeem that voucher, and then the business can set how long it'll last for. So one thing is if you're in the business, the deals of that business are going to be at the top of your list. You'll say, oh, well, I got enough points, and I see I can get a free flatbread if I can redeem these right now.
So you can select what you want to use your points on.
Yes.
It doesn't select it for you.
Oh, no, you select it, and then you just show your voucher when you actually want to get your, whatever it is.
Question here?
Hi there. Right.
Oh,
Hi.
Sorry.
Kristen, very nice presentation. You talked a lot about mom and pop shops and local UCF Winter Park. I grew up in Orlando, and I very much pay attention to local small businesses, and there are a lot popping up. I'm sure you've seen the Orlandoian shirts and Orlando Doesn't Suck and this sort of movement. So I pay attention in my own Instagram feed when there's a new restaurant or, someone especially in my age demographic that's doing something interesting. So to get in front of those businesses, my mind goes to East End Market and every little shop in there. So if you can get, and everyone really tries to help each other out, they'll retweet or regram or whatever other people when they're in, even the, vegan restaurant to vegan restaurant, even if they're competition. So to get that group of people, in my mind it's a handful of restaurants and, the young entrepreneurs in Orlando, to get them all on here, handing out the cards and really promoting it inside the restaurant, I think that would be a powerful marketing tool.
Yeah, I totally agree, and that's definitely one thing. We need to build a team. I remember before you were mentioning, the bigger the team, you have some benefits there. We're definitely trying to get someone who's more skilled at social media. We've tried to take that on, and we've kind of been subpar with it. We definitely need to grow that, but also, like you said, just kind of finding those early adopters and those, what's the one step before that, the people who are really crazy about it, and getting to those people so that they can, word of mouth spread a little bit faster. It's definitely something we're, strategizing on.
Next question.
All right. I'll hit the thought in a second. What was coming to mind when you were just addressing the team thing again? It's not just about, you don't find wisdom in the council of one, right? Find it in the council of many. So that's part of it. The other thing is it's a risk management component to the investor. So I can say you're going to go deep on that subject, but I had about 7 streams of questioning for you. I'm going to go back to the original one because not being a techie myself, I look at the collections when you said a penny a point. And I said, oh my God, what if this thing went viral overnight and you got to collect these pennies? What does that look like? What does your collections look like? How are you managing that? What have you built into this to handle that flow? Because anyone that's ever done business with restaurateurs knows they're the worst paying customer out there. So what are you doing to manage that? What do you have in place? Is there something automated that's worked out? And do you have contracts in place that are signed online or otherwise with the vendors? I have to assume you do.
So I'm slightly confused. Are you referring to, let's say, one business runs a deal and then it goes viral now, next thing they know they owe a lot of money or they have a ton of points in their bank? Or what would that?
No, if the entire concept went viral, you now had to collect from 100,000 businesses. In the early stages, while it's just getting going, you might be looking at this business owes you $3.13. This business owes you $100.12. And it's all those little transactions. What does the back end look like to be able to manage that? That was the first thing that came to my mind if I was an investor. So does that help?
Well, one of the beautiful things about being developing a solution in-house is the back end was developed in-house too. So as far as I had the pleasure before this working at this one company where I helped build this business intelligence solution that had terabytes and terabytes and terabytes of data. So we had to have a very, very efficient database back end, a very efficient transactional system that wasn't slow. So I did use a lot of best practices and consulted with a lot of mentors building this. So I'm not saying it's to the point where tomorrow it could just have 100,000 businesses, but it definitely is ready to scale, and I think we can plug in other developers if we start to reach that growth and there's something to work on. They don't need to rebuild it or something. I think you could. What's that? And as far as the billing, we don't get like paper invoices and pay out, which Sean was just mentioning to me. They put their credit card inside of the app and then it's all automated. As far as billing them every 2 weeks, our billing cron job goes through and bills them and does all the math. So there's not a lot of overhead from a personnel standpoint.
More questions? Gentry again. I'm kind of curious because I use Groupon a lot and it kind of aligns with Groupon mission. Do you guys, or in the future, would you guys offer services as opposed to just clothing and food? Would you offer a service like skydiving or taxis or something like that to support the service side of the entrepreneur businesses?
Yeah, so it's a very flexible application as far as it can work for a service company. A skydiving company can download a app and run a deal in it. And they might not have as many people come through as a restaurant, but they absolutely can. Service businesses, oriented businesses can come in and run deals on both sides. I mean, we do have an indoor soccer. That's an example of a service to some degree, as far as they're one of our partners where you can get free games of soccer.
Well, the reason I asked is because jet ski was pretty popular in Groupon. Last weekend, 450 people used that service. So just for things like that.
Okay, I know that we're really running over, so that was our last question. In the spirit of 1 million cups, what can we do for you right now?
So definitely following us on social media at MyDealPeel and downloading the app and providing us feedback. We love feedback. We've got a lot of it today. But also, if any of you know any small businesses or regional chains or anybody you think this could be a good fit for in the area, we're definitely looking to grow, and that would definitely be a help.